Hello, agents. This is Hannibal. Based off a request from a new clan member, I'm going to cover another topic no one really talks about anymore. We're going to go over classified assignments. Now, most creators treat classified assignments pretty much as background noise, and that's if they cover them at all. I don't mean that in a disparaging way. It's just classified assignments are really just extra side quests within the game, and so they're sort of a one and done. There's extra loot, it has filler content, even a backpack trophy for each mission. But again, generally treated as a one and done. Today we're going to go over and break down why classified assignments matter more than what people realize, and why skipping them may mean missing out on some of the Division 2's smartest design and lore. So let's do it. So for you lore fans, classified assignments cover an expanded story of some of the characters that make it into the game's narrative, such as Mari Singh. If you haven't touched any of the classified assignments, you may not understand how Manny is involved with her and the whole manhunt missions to rescue her and others from Black Tusk, which was the final mission of Year 5, Season 1, Broken Wings. She made her first appearance in the third classified assignment, the Aquarium Civilian Rescue mission. These missions aren't just side objectives, though. They fill in emotional and political gaps the main campaign pretty much skips. They show us how civilians tried to survive, how rogue factions gained power, and how the world unraveled one decision at a time. And they introduced more supporting and narrative characters to the overall story. You want to understand the world, right? Well, this is kind of where you start. Classified assignments were introduced in Update 1.0.6 of Title Update 3. Simply described as small side missions. They contain additional audio logs and clues as to how Washington, D.C. fell before the events of the Division 2. There are 8 classified assignments in total, and they were initially only available to Year 1 pass holders and were originally released in pairs to Year 1 pass holders between Title Update 3 and Title Update 7. And the assignments were as follows. You had the National Bond Armory, Nelson Theater Hostages, Aquarium Civilian Rescue, NSA Site B13, Marina Supply Route, the Embassy Crash Site, Nightclub Infiltration, and the Detention Center Rescue. Each assignment works in a similar manner in terms of unlocking them, as well as their overall structure. So players with the Year 1 pass were alerted to a new activity type found on the map, and they were called classified assignments. These missions are shown on the map as blue compass symbols upon discovering the areas they were located in. Once the assignment becomes available on the map, players need to actually make their way to the highlighted area. You had to walk to the area and locate the actual entrance door. These missions are shown at the entrance once you find the correct entrance, and that entrance will have a glitched overlay on top of the door, similar to the overlay found in front of the entrance of main missions. Once the door is located and scanned, the glitch effect that appears will disappear, and the mission becomes available to play, as well as unlocking matchmaking and a fast travel point. With the exception of the first classified assignment, which was the National Bond Armory, all classified assignments required level 30 or above to be able to scan the entrance. The layout of the missions and enemy factions differ depending on the mission. However, they are all pretty much similar. There are 3 to 5 intel pieces, such as audio logs, as well as 1 backpack trophy located in each of the classified assignments. Once the mission is completed, players are prompted to leave the mission area, but they may choose to continue exploring and pick up the remaining collectibles. Classified assignments can only be accessed once per week. Once the player leaves the mission area, the assignment will become locked until the following Tuesday with the vendor resets. So the National Bond Armory. The True Sons have taken over and need to have their network of items and communication has pretty much been disrupted. This is the only classified mission, again, that can be started below level 30, as well as the first one to appear on the map. The Nelson Theater hostages. The hyenas are holding hostages inside the Nelson Theater, and you have to rescue them. Now, this is the first mission that you had to be above level 30 to scan the door. All the rest of them follow the same suit. Then the third mission, which was the Aquarium Civilian Rescue. This is where you're introduced to Mari, and you rescue a group of civilians from the hyenas in the central aquarium. Next up, you got the NSA Site B13. This is where you meet the supporting characters for that's right outside the entrance to the White House. As soon as you go into the courtyard, to the right, you've got the woman with the glasses, and you got the other NSA guy in the shirt and tie, where he comes up. What's the audio? Somebody got an espresso machine that they're making dandelion roast, which is one of the funniest lines of dialogue I've heard in the game. You basically investigate the source of the NSA security alert beneath the National Mall. Next up, you got the Marina Supply Route. Outcasts have been moving weapons and supplies into a boathouse on the Potomac River. The boathouse was used as a transport depot during the outbreak to move assets from the Potomac River and Roosevelt Island, and you have to investigate and seize all the weapons you could find. The sixth one in line was the embassy crash site. A JTF helicopter filled with supplies was shot down by the outcasts and crashed through the roof of the Mexican embassy in Washington, D.C. And you're pretty much tasked to locate the helicopter, rescue the pilot, and secure the supplies before the outcasts get there. Assignment 7 was the Nightclub Infiltration, and all you have to do is rendezvous with another division agent, Agent Lee, in order to disrupt the hyena's spice supply lines. And the last one was the Detention Center Rescue. You infiltrated True Son's detention center and released the prisoners. Pretty cut and dry, pretty simple. And I can understand why, in most cases, they're not mentioned. But the new clan member that I have had absolutely no idea what to do with them. There's really no prompt in the game, no tutorial what to do. All of a sudden, he's street sweeping, and all of a sudden, Isaac says classified assignment discovered, and he had no idea what to do. Unlike most main missions, which are built for spectacle, classified assignments are often tighter and more layered. Hallways turn into choke points, offices become kill boxes, and they reward deliberate movement and punish sprinting head first. This is one of those side quests where you really had to be more tactful and tactical in your approach, as opposed to just, running and gunning. And if you wanted to train for legendary difficulty pacing, these missions are a perfect practice for that. These spaces are built to feel real. You have offices in chaos, personal belongings abandoned, audio logs that sound like real people instead of exposition dumps. The more you look, the more you find. From coded keypads to security terminals, these assignments tell stories without really reading any cutscenes. There's a reason these missions are locked behind deluxe editions and season passes. Or at least they were. They were built with more of a focus. You had more narrative, more density. They represented an alternative path Division 2 could have taken, one where smaller stories had bigger emotional payoffs. And if you want to appreciate the game's design potential, classified assignments show you the blueprint. And the rewards go beyond loot. Sure, you get gear, you also get little backpack trophies, but more importantly, you got immersion and perspective, especially for you lore fans. You start to see how factions evolved, how Shade Tech got lost, how the citizens adapted or didn't. These details mattered more than named items because they gave weight to what you could have actually been fighting for. Again, solely based on lore. So the next time someone tells you classified assignments are just bonus content, remember this. What other content creators aren't telling you is that these assignments, these missions, are part of the soul of the game hiding in plain sight. They're also dismissed by a lot of them because it was early on in the game and they moved on to other topics of the game: builds, weapons, solo legendary runs, etc. If you've played them, drop your favorite moment in the comments. If you haven't, go load in. You'll come out a better player and maybe a little bit more invested in the game as well. As I mentioned, this video was made upon a request. The player, new to the franchise, had no idea what they were or why they existed, and commented that the game just doesn't tell you anything about them. And that's true, and that's fair. So I volunteered to make this video for that player. So now, I find this idea appealing. Did you run into something in the game where you had absolutely no idea what it was or how to do it? Couldn't find a video or walkthrough and was stuck until someone randomly came by and said, "Oh yeah, that? Yeah, you simply got to do A, B, and C and it's done." If so, tell me about it. What thing in the game made you wish that there was a video for? Maybe I could make one for you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. X and Discord info is in the YouTube channel details. And until the next one, this is Hannibal, signing off.